Hey everyone, it's Kine. Welcome back to 31 Days of Halloween. Today's look is this neon cartoon zombie. You know, anyone who knows me knows that I'm a truly original makeup artist who has lots of fresh, groundbreaking ideas. Kidding, obviously, this was inspired by Jordan Hans and Nickel Genesis and Glam & Gore. This look is pretty easy in that it doesn't require much prep work or SFX, but even with my degree of experience, body painting is still pretty hard for me. But I think it's still a fun look. You don't see that many Halloween costumes anymore that are colorful and neon. So, without further ado, let's get started. First, I'm going to show you guys how I styled this wig. Now, whether you're working with a high quality lace front or a Party City shake and go wig, I still believe that styling is an important step that lots of people skip. When I first started wearing wigs, I would just put it on my head the way it came because I had like no idea how to do hair and I didn't want to ruin it. But it's really not that hard. What I do is I take small sections all around the hairline from ear to ear and I back comb like the back of the section with a rat tail comb I got for like 50 cents at Sally's. And as I move on to the next section, I tease it with the previous one. And the reason why is because we don't want the sections to look separated. We want it all to be one big unit. This is what it looks like when the entire hairline is all ratted and teased. And now you're going to take a brush, I don't know what this one is called, I use it to detangle my wigs, and I just smooth over the surface of the hair. And this is going to take out some of the teasing, but it'll make it look less like pubes and more like actual hair, and you'll still be left with some of the volume from teasing. And then just with your hands, style it the way that you want. I chose to do this kind of like old Hollywood curl with the one side clip to the back so that it's all on one shoulder. And that's pretty much how I do my hair these days. So let's jump into the makeup. I'm taking a mixture of blue and white water paints and I'm sketching the outline of some negative spaces like the top of my forehead, which is going to be like a different color because it's like the brain. And I'm also going to leave blank where I'm going to plan to do the nose as well as the mouth, which is going to be like 3 ripped open holes where you can see the teeth and gums, and then the eyes and the eye bags. On the chest, there's going to be another big hole where you can like see my ribs, but everything else we paint our skin color. So now I'm going to the brain, and I was going to do a pink brain, but I thought it would look weird against my pink wig, so I chose to go with a dark blue color, and I'll add more detail to this later, but then I'm going to go and do dark blue in these kind of like drips going down from my eyes, kind of like if you stretch your under eye skin down. And then also I'm filling in the nose, just like an upside down heart shape with 2 points at the top. And next, I'm starting on the teeth, for which I'm using a white face paint and a lip brush. After I do the teeth, I'm adding pink to where the gums would be, and then I'm using black to outline everything. Outline each tooth and outline the gums, and it all pops a lot more, and it looks a lot more cartoony. I'm also outlining the eye bags and the brain, and now I'm going to add more detail. I just used a small paintbrush for this, and I made some short squiggly lines. That way the blue would look like a bunch of worms, kind of, and then I used some white on specific curves to make the brain squiggles look more 3D. Next, I'm filling in the brows with pink face paint to match my hair, and then outlining that in more black. I'm also adding more detail to the eye bags, kind of similar to how we did the brain, by creating lines and wrinkles with black, and then using a white/light blue in order to highlight in between the lines. Then I'm using more black on that small brush to create some detail, adding some like sharp corners to the mouth so there's more expression, as well as creating some holes and scars in the skin where it looks kind of too blank. And then I'm doing the chest, and if your costume covers this area, obviously you don't need to paint this. But as you can tell, I don't wear that many clothes since I'm always naked, so I need to paint. And just like when we did the teeth, I'm creating the bones with white, following my normal bone structure, and then outlining it all in pink. As you can see, if you use too much water on the brush, things will drip, which is really depressing, but just wait for it to dry and paint over it. When the pink and white cover everything, outline it again in black, and then add some emotion and dimension by creating some lines going outwards at the corners. And I'm also adding white to the edges before the blue meets the black so that there's just more dimension. And since this is like a cartoon look, the shadows don't really need to look perfect. You can just add white lines as highlights, in fact, kind of like a pop art style like you can see me doing here. Just use your own discretion and experiment. And now I'll be doing the eye makeup. Instead of doing like blacked out skull eyes, I chose to do like pretty eyes. I just blended blue eyeshadow into the crease and then put silver on the lid and finished it off with a winged eyeliner. And this is the finished look. I added these purple Starburst contacts courtesy of Camoeyes.com. If you want to see a full list of products, I always put one in the description of every makeup tutorial on my channel. At least I think I do. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye!